to Working on It. I'm Dr. A and I'm a clinical psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today, I want to get back to something we've already done twice, which is talk about cognitive distortions, cognitive errors, cognitive biases. We already did two. If you haven't seen them, they're really, really important, and there are a couple of the most common ones that come up. Go take a look at the thoughts playlist. I called them mind tricks. There's mind trick 1 and mind trick 2. I believe it was catastrophizing and fortune telling. Those are some of the most common ones. The one we're going to talk about today is another common one. It's very, very important, and it's called mental filter, and we'll get to that in a moment. But if you haven't watched my other videos, I want to talk about what I mean when I say cognitive distortion. I like to call it a funhouse mirror image of reality, where you think something about what's happening and it feels so real for you because it has elements of the truth, but it's not quite what's happening, or it's not quite reality. But you can't convince us otherwise because it feels true, so to us it must be true, right? But there are these glitches that our brain makes, these errors, these mistakes. And so we have to know what are the most common mistakes that our brain makes so that we can sort of look for them, and when our mind is making them, spot them rather than believing it's the truth. We can label them and be like, actually, that's catastrophizing. I know exactly what my mind is doing. Dr. A taught me this. Ooh, that's fortune telling. Okay, I know exactly what that is, right? Because if we don't understand that it's a glitch, instead, we'll take it as just the truth and fact and act on it, okay? So, go back and watch those if you haven't. They're very, very important. And today, I'm going to teach you the third one, which is mental filter. What does mental filter mean? Well, it means that we're sort of paying undue attention, a lot of focus on one negative detail instead of seeing the whole picture. We're paying attention to one negative detail, something small, rather than seeing the bigger picture. If you tell me you don't do this, you are lying, because we all do this. We truly all do this, right? For example, I don't know if you guys love stand-up comedy the way I do, but I love stand-up comedy. I love it. I'm a big aficionado of it. I'm a big consumer of it. It makes me happy. I memorize things, and I watch a lot of stand-up comedians talking about their work and what it's like to get up there in front of a bunch of people. Can you imagine? Not only do you have to do public speaking in front of people, but people are sitting there like, make me laugh. Make me laugh, funny boy. Come on, right? It must be so intimidating. So what they say a lot is that everybody in the audience could be laughing, but guess who the comedian spots? The one person on their phone, the one person not laughing, the one person being offended, right? Instead of seeing the bigger picture, which is this set is going really, really well, they focus on that negative detail, and we emphasize that negative detail, and that negative detail becomes the whole thing, right? So in our mind, we're like, well, why didn't everyone laugh? Rather than thinking, almost everyone was cracking up. I had a great set, right? Whether it's comedians or whether it's us doing this in real life, this happens all the time. We can have, let's say, 5 dates that go really, really well, and then one date that doesn't, or where the person doesn't like us very much or isn't attracted to us or whatever it is, and guess which date we'll focus on? Will we focus on the 5, or will we focus on that one and go home and be like, ugh, and kind of feel bad about ourselves, right? Same thing at work. We could be doing well. We get one detail in the performance review that needs work or something like that. That's the thing that we'll hone in on. And it's very damaging. It's damaging to our confidence. It's damaging to our mood in the moment. And it takes away from the accomplishment and the success that we are having. because we love to focus in on that negative. Our mind loves to sit in that negative, right? The next time you are noticing yourself being really bummed out by a specific detail, a certain event that happened, a part of an event that happened, and you're noticing yourself being upset about that, I want you to catch it and try to walk it back and say, oh, that's that thing. My mind is doing the mental filter thing. It's a glitch. I know exactly what's happening right now, right? Because if not, it'll color your whole reality and you'll just see it as negative rather than seeing, oh, nope, this is a thing my brain does. It just takes one negative detail and it colors the whole picture. Okay? So we have catastrophizing, we have fortune telling, and now we have mental filter. Think of it too almost like a colander, right? When we pour out the spaghetti, right? The spaghetti is that negative thing. But look at how much water drained down the drain. All that water is the whole thing, right? Everything else, all the other good things that happen, and they just get flushed down the drain. And what do we focus on? That specific detail. Take a moment right now as I'm talking and think about a section in your life that you do that with. Maybe you don't do that with everything. Maybe you just do that with work. Maybe you just do that with your friends. When you have a negative experience with a friend, you forget all the other times that you guys have had a positive experience. Or you feel ignored or neglected by a friend and you feel so lonely. And then you forget all the other friends that are there for you all the time and want to be around you. Or with your romantic life, like with dating, like I brought up, right? Or if you're married, same thing. What is the one thing that you're focusing in on, ignoring all the other things around it? Okay? So think about a section in your life where you tend to do the mental filter a little bit more than maybe other sections. And then I want you to think about it some, and as you go on until I see you guys next time in the next video, please practice with this. Just have this mental filter glitch in your brain, and when you're getting bummed out, try to catch it in real time and say, ooh, mental filter. Labeling it is very, very powerful. So give it a try. You know what I'm going to say. Practice, practice, practice until we meet again. And then if you haven't, like I said, seen the other two, go to the thoughts playlist and look at the other two because they're even more common than this mental filter one. And we'll continue to talk about some more in the future as well, so you guys can get really good at finding out what's truth and what's an error that our mind makes. Until then, you got this. See you guys next time.